What made you close that 9 million dirham deal?
We had the most luxurious resorts. You should be proud of yourself. For me, being proud of yourself is not a bad thing at all.
Hello, welcome to the show again. And today I have with me an amazing person, Datius in the building. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you, man.
You good?
I'm great.
So, I know you a bit. So I would like to know more about you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also my audience will also like to know more about you. So can you do like a quick introduction of yourself?
Well, my name's Datius. Datius.
Yeah.
I live in Zanzibar.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a real estate agent.
Yeah.
I think we can get to learn more as we keep going.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, I believe you know me.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Willie, right?
Sure.
Yes, okay. I'll jump to the first question, actually.
Let's go.
Because you're a real estate agent,
Okay.
I want to know your perspective on wealth. How do you define wealth?
Wealth, eh?
Wealth, like wealth.
Okay, so for me, it's more than the assets, more than the finances.
Yeah.
For me, it's more than these two things.
Yeah.
It's more of, yes, you should have financial freedom.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to the family perspective, the community perspective, your spiritual life as well, your mental space.
Yeah.
So how peaceful you are, how happy you are, that for me counts as part of your wealth. So it just doesn't resonate to the assets and the financial freedom which comes with it, but going beyond to that community aspect.
Okay, so it's not so much about material things or anything. It's about all things in general.
Well, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you won't say like.
So, finance plays a very big part.
Yeah.
That you should be very okay financially. You should try to have that financial freedom.
Yeah.
But that should not be the end goal. That should be the means to the end. That should be what is now sustaining you to be able to have a better family, to be a good father, to be a good husband, to be a good member of the community, to be able to love people in the better way, to be able to serve the community. And that's how you make yourself rich in your heart and the experience of life.
Okay. I find it people who maybe have already achieved some of the financial stability or wealth, they just find it, they want an extra thing or wealth like that. You say how you deal with the community, how you be a better husband, how you be a better parent.
Yeah.
So I would like to know, with this mindset, what's your background? What's your background and where did you study and how was your family and how did they influence you to be with that mindset that you have?
Well, I'm born and raised. Okay, so I was born in Bukoba.
Yeah.
But I have been raised, I can say, between Soma, Mwanza, and Bukoba, or at once.
Yeah.
I stayed with my mom until I was, I think, around 8 years old.
Yeah.
Then I stayed with my aunt for 2 years, and I stayed with my dad.
Yeah.
Then I stayed back with my aunt for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then by this time I was moving to my secondary school.
Yeah.
I went to Bukoba Rutan Secondary School.
Yeah.
For the 4 years, and after that, I went to Ilbol Secondary School for my advanced secondary school.
Yeah.
And then I went to the University of Dar es Salaam where I did my bachelor degree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after that, I now started looking for a job and building my career until now. Love-free, my family is,
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it, but I would say I'm blessed because I've been raised with different people at very different times.
Yeah.
I've lived, I believe, with to almost more than 7 families
Yeah.
until when I'm like of full age.
Yeah.
So I stayed with my mom at my early age, and she's a very, I can say, I won't call her religious, I'll call her spiritual person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were living in town, but in more of a community kind. Like I had my grandma, my uncles all around me.
Yeah.
And then we were living in a more churchy setting because she was working for the church and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to my aunt, it was the same. They were living still in a village, and then we had that kind of community living, and it was an extended family where you live with your cousins, you live with your brothers, like different relatives coming together.
Yeah.
But I can say growing up, I've been taking a lot of life lessons and stuff from my mom. She's one of the person who has planted in me a lot of ways to handle life, how to move around, how to see life in a different perspective. And I can say when it comes to material stuff, she's one of the person who has implanted in me like life is beyond what you get, because we have been blessed to have a very good life. When I was growing up, my dad was working for the government, so we have had a very good life. And then that sometimes along the way things changed. Like we went back, we lost everything, and then sometimes along the way things changed again, and we got back our life together. And within these 3 seasons, all that it taught me, it was like life is not about the material stuff. You can lose everything today, but it's about who you are.
It's about
you understand?
who you are.
Yeah, it's about what you have in your inside of you more than what is surrounding you.
So going back to that moment when you told me like you were very wealthy and you went you shake a little bit and you went back again. Going back to that moment, what was on your mind? Like, what did you think at that time?
What moment exactly?
That moment, maybe the moment that you shaked, actually your family shaked, because they say one of the things that brings chaos in the families, financial not being stable, financial status not being stable.
Right.
Yeah, so how did you guys deal with it as a family?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this question with 2 perspectives. One of the guys that I listened to once told me he's very proud of people who become successful at a very young age. And it's not because of the success they have, but it's because of the people that they become. You understand? And then there's another common, I can say, school of thought, which says you can take, I would say maybe 1 million, or you can take everything from a rich person. And can give them a short span of time, and they'll be able to rebuild themselves to be that person they used to be. And then you could give a poor person a mountful, amount of wealth, and it would take a very short time for them to lose everything. So that takes me back to what I'm saying is like, whatever happens in life is not literally about the things around you. It's not about the cars, not about the houses, not about the farms or anything that you own. It's about you. Who are you as a person? What values do you have? What kind of accountability do you take? What kind of responsibility do you take? These are the things which will make a difference in your life. So when everything was happening, I would really appreciate our parents. Growing up is when you understand, okay, life kind of changed. But living at home, you wouldn't notice the major differences because still our parents could make sure that we have all the basic needs. We go to the same schools that we used to go to. We at most like have the same lifestyle. It would not be accident. Maybe let's say you had 7, 8 cars, But now, even if you have 2 cars, you still have to maintain and be able to sustain whatever you could do in a way. So they don't know how they figured that out, but still, I couldn't notice a major change as a kid in that moment. Yeah. But right now, reflecting, it takes me to the values that they had.
Yeah,
that's what kept us in that season.
Yeah, that's amazing way to define it, especially when you say, I can summarize it all, the 2 courses you mentioned in terms of mindset.
Yeah.
That you guys, the mindset you had is something that nobody could take that away from you. Mm-hmm. Your parents had, you had at that time. So that's cool. Then, yeah, I've enjoyed that answer. So how do you balance your professional life with your beliefs, your passion, especially your faith? Yeah,
hey.
Like, I've asked this question because, we're in Zanzibar, right? You know how it is.
Yeah.
So how do you balance all this? It's a different environment. Mm-hmm. You grew up in different environments, Bukoba, Musoma. Yeah. You went in Dar, now you're in Zanzibar. Mm-hmm. So how do you balance this professional life that you're in right now and your passion, your beliefs, your faith?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah,
I would say being in Zanzibar would be like a stretch. I can say it was a stretch for me because it's moving to a whole different location. Yeah. My life has been back in the mainland. Yeah. Basically. But the thing is, I don't believe if your professional life should be different from the other set of life. That be your faith, your passion, or anything else. I believe you should be able to find a way to integrate your life altogether.
Yeah.
So coming back to your passion, well, I love art. And I do write poems sometimes when I'm kind of chill for myself and for people close to me.
Yeah.
I've done gospel music before I moved to Zanzibar, but okay, I think very soon from now I'll be also doing some other productions for the same.
Yeah.
And in the same note, when it comes to what I'm doing is there is time when you do work, but in this same moment, I try to align my passion with what I'm doing. So real estate is a very broad industry. Yeah. I'm doing sales more specifically. Yeah. And within this, you still could find a way to integrate whatever you're doing. So I can be working, but at the same time, I could be working on my projects as well. Yeah. So it's more of how I manage my time and how I do my stuff. Yeah. But then when it comes to faith, that's the same thing because my Bible teaches me to work hard, and how to be a good person, how to be a good employee, how to be that kind of a person. So I believe when I'm doing my job properly, that's part of fulfilling my faith.
Yeah, for sure.
So for me, I don't see it's something that has to be a complicated thing, but it's the most easier thing to do because it's all synchronized together.
So the only way you balance it is by bringing it together.
Yeah.
What you love, you say you love art. So what you love, what you believe.
Yeah.
Everything, you just bring it together. That's the art.
Yeah, because there is... Well, so...
But the meaning of balance, actually, I may say, most of the people, when they be in a position, maybe the position that you're in.
Yeah.
It's...
No.
Yeah, the position that you're in, you're the sales manager of a big project, right? Yeah, so being in that position, sometimes it gets busy. Yeah. Travels, clients you have to deal with. your staff that you have to deal with. Now, this balance, where do you get it like to also be able to do the art? And you told me like you're about to drop a project soon.
Yeah.
So where do you get, because when you visit, when somebody looks your life outside, it seems like this guy has no time. I'm actually surprised even we're here and now talking.
Okay, so my answer is always, you will always make time for what you like. You always make time for what you love.
Yeah.
Yes, we get busier, but there is, I'm going to call this, someone once said, we don't do work-life balance.
Yeah.
We do work-life integration.
Yeah.
So you should work as you're living, you should live as you work. I don't know if that's clear.
Yeah.
But there are times when you're busy.
Yeah.
For people who do this kind of business, they understand like there's those very, very busy days where you could go even for days without sleeping properly and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there are days which are slow. So you need to calculate your days. You need to be on your schedule. You need to know when are you free. And that ample time that you get is what you use to do the other stuff that you have to be doing.
You have to be doing.
Yeah.
So that's how you use your free time to actually accommodate what you love. Okay, that's a good way to actually look at things.
Sure.
So I visited your Instagram page recently, and you were in Dubai. You know? Yeah, you were in Dubai last time. So I was want you to tell me and tell us, how did that trip, your recent trip, put in your mind? Like, which impact did it bring to you in your business perspective and everything?
Okay, first, one of the things that I could say shifted is, well, this was my first time in Dubai, and as we all know, this is one of the biggest real estate markets.
Yeah.
And well, the company that I work for, that's where the base is at.
Yeah.
I could say, so when we launched our product, well, I work for Infinite Developments.
Yeah.
We're doing an entire Zanzibar. And I remember the very first time when we started going to partners, brokers, and stuff like that, and telling them the product that we have, the pricing was a very big issue. And people were like, I remember once, I won't mention the name, I went to this brokerage, and I was like, we've been working together, and I think this product is very good for you. It's going to make you a good amount of money, and da-da-da. And this guy looks at the whole project and goes like, I'm not going to lie, we cannot sell something like this in Zanzibar. You understand? So I believed in the product, and that's why I was able to just, you know what, I'm going to sell this. And that's why I'm now trying to convert other people to have the same faith that I have, that we can sell this. And we have been, I can say like it's doing very great. The sales are doing very great. But when I went to Dubai, and yes, I did visit multiple other real estate companies. We did visit other real estate agents. I'm going to give a very ludicrous example. Someone wouldn't believe this. We went to one open walk-in visit one of the companies, and they had launched a new project about 3 days ago before we made a visit. And when we went there, it was a lot of people packed in one location. Everyone is busy. And it was I and my colleagues. So my colleagues looked around. Of course, we had gone to try and make connections, meet some other agents and stuff like that. And then looked at 2 people stranded. They were blacks. And he just walks to them. He talks to them and like, hey, I'm from Zanzibar. You guys should try and buy Zanzibar. And the people be like, we're here to buy the product, which was launched yesterday. We don't know who to talk to. And guess what? We had gone to visit one of our friends who was selling the product. So in that same moment, we sold to about 9 million dirhams.
That moment.
In that moment. Like, it was just a walk-in. We met people, and that was closed. Someone is just there, they know what they want, we connect them to the agent, and that was it. So,
and the deal was closed.
The deal, yeah. So for me, that was a statement like, there is so much more we have to be positive about. Zanzibar is a very good market. We're in a very good time. There's so much opportunity. A lot of big companies are coming. I know of a lot of brands which are now looking to open in Zanzibar. I know of other very major projects coming. So, and that is going to shift. We shouldn't be retained to how conservative things have been, how conservative the prices have been, how conservative we've been doing things. We have to be open to shift to where we are moving, to where the wind is blowing to. So for me, that was a very big mind shift. That there's so much more than what we are seeing right now, and that's what we're headed to.
Yeah. That's an amazing story, and an amazing experience. I think these other salespeople should also visit Dubai.
Yeah, man. There's so much opportunity. I'm gonna tell you, there's so much opportunity. You're gonna meet a lot of people making ludicrous amounts of money. There is so much more. Like if you make a very reasonable amount of money where you could travel, you should put that in your list and put it very specifically to just broaden up your network. And I'm sure you're a lawyer, you are a consultant, you're an investment consultant, something along investment and business. You should just go there and try to network, go to high-end areas, and I'm sure you're gonna be very open to have some very good deals.
Okay. Okay, now for a career that you've built, for the experience that you've been through, what advice would you give to a young professional that wants to build a career in real estate or in any other industry? Like a young professional, let me give you this one thing. Youth know that real estate is blowing right now. So real estate is blowing right now. So people want to put their hands on this market, especially young people. And some of them, they say, there are no opportunities. What do I do? How should I be? So which advice would you give to a young professional that wants to pursue this career?
So what I'm going to say is, first, you should have a drive. You should know what you want. You should have a goal of how you want your life to be. Because what I normally tell even my team, for me, I don't consider real estate as a normal 9-to-5 job. For me, it's as if you're running your own business. Whether you're working for a developer or whether you're working as a private solo agent. And as you say, okay, I'm a sales manager for Infinite Developments. We have been here operating for more than a year now. And I can say we have one of the companies with big teams when it comes to sales and marketing here. And I've been a part of the recruiting process myself. So anyone who wants to come into this industry, they should try to build themselves to be accountable, to be reliable, to be responsible, to have the right attitude. Because apart from the skills, which I believe those can be taught, but these are the things which cannot be taught. You understand? It's not an easy game, if I could put it like that. There are days where you have to go out of your way, you have to pour in so much, and without even seeing results. So you have to learn how to be consistent, you have to learn how to be patient, and that would be what I could say to someone who wants to come to real estate. But for any other general careers, it goes back to what do you want, and that will help you to know what directions you should take. So for instance, myself, I have any professional, or I can say education background in real estate. I did a BA in law enforcement.
Law.
And,
So you If you do a BA in law enforcement, you're a lawyer, right?
We can say paralegal because I don't become a full operating lawyer. To be a lawyer, you have to do LLB.
The law school.
Yeah, then you have to go to law school.
Yeah.
But law enforcement is different. It's more of a legal advisor and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but then when I graduated, I didn't. Being honest, then my parents would see this. I don't know, but I knew I'm never going to be a lawyer when I was in my first year.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, this is not my thing. But if I'm going to tell my parents that I'm not doing law, they're not going to understand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a degree and give it back to them.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to look for what I think I can do.
Yeah.
That's one. Another thing is I knew I wanted to have a very good life.
Yeah.
And looking at multiple kind of jobs, I'm like, no, this is not gonna work for me. This kind of salary is not gonna take me where I want to be.
Yeah.
So I kept. By the way, on the same note, you should start with what you have. Yeah. It is very easy. I've got jobs not by applying. It's because I'm working somewhere, and based on what I do, it is easier for people to recommend me for other opportunities. So you don't have to start from you kind of a bigger vision, but you don't have to start from somewhere big. Yeah. I have done ludicrous kind of jobs. I've worked in an industry like manufacturing industry as a machine operator. I have done sales for DSTV, the people you see in the road walking, like selling dishes.
You've done that.
I've done that. And then I've worked as a salesperson, but every opportunity was building me, my skills, my personality, my attitude. And then eventually I found myself in real estate. And from the moment I walked into that industry, I was like, I think now I have what I was looking for. Yeah. So I believe for any person to just have the vision and start finding ways towards your vision. Once you know the direction, it's very easier to get to where you want to go.
Yeah. I know the people who do those DSTV announcements and everything. Oh, salespeople just are doing normal jobs. Then I should be respecting them when I see them, because if the sales manager was also one of them, then I should have to be very respectful to anybody I see. And actually, how grateful are you to be from all these places to now in this position that you're in?
Well, I'm very, I don't know. I believe in God. I believe in grace. But again, I believe in hard work.
Hard work.
So there is a place where God's grace has to do the whatever that you have to have for you to move further. But then there's your input as well. So I know, like, it's not by, I do not, looking at other people, you do something and looking at other people, you have people who are more qualified than you are. You have people who are more experienced than you are. But then that's where you understand the grace. But then I wouldn't be so hard on myself. I still have to be proud of myself that I did put in the work. I did put in the determination to be here. So, but on the same note, for anyone, regardless of where you are, regardless of what you do, you can become anything. Even I myself, I'm not yet where I want to be. I'm still glowing. But looking back to where I came from, to where I started, to where I am right now, that should be a message to anyone, anywhere, that they could grow to anything that they wanna grow to.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Now back to business. Infinity Developers. So I'm lucky to have the representative here. So if I would like to buy from Infinity Developers, what's your key selling point? What makes you guys unique? Or what made you close that 9 million dirham deal? Because I want to know what made that person actually close the deal at that time.
Well, to I'm gonna say that clear. So the dirham deal we're talking about, this they bought into the Dubai project.
Into
That-
the Dubai project.
Yeah, that was not our.
I overheard it, man. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, but so we are doing multiple projects here in Zanzibar.
Yeah.
We have, as of current, more than 17 running projects in the island. One major project, which is Anantara Zanzibar.
Yeah.
Then we have several other innovation projects, like we are innovating the outfall, we are building African House Garden, we are innovating the court museum and other several locations. But now coming to the, I can say one of the projects is trying to give an introduction of us. The key selling points. We are the only branded 5-star beachfront development in the island currently.
Yeah.
And for me, that's more security to any buyer than compared to what we have in the island already.
Yeah.
But that's also a statement to the growth of the tourism and resort market in the island. If you see these big companies, big brands coming to the island, that should make a statement to what the island is growing to. Yeah. And we are the most luxurious resorts, I can say, in the island and probably even in East Africa at large. Yeah. This goes to the amount of amenities that we have. But Anantara, as a brand that you're working with, the reputation they have, the kind of service that they have been. If anyone has been to an Anantara hotel, they will tell you. And we have sold a bunch of properties to people who do not know Infinity at all, but they know Anantara and they believe in Anantara because of that name. So that's more easier. But then Infinity as well, we don't do anything if not excellent. So we do excellent projects, excellent finishes. We work with excellent people. So we want excellence to be another definition of who we are as a brand, as a company. And for me, that would be the most outstanding things that would differentiate us from any other developer so far.
So security, luxury.
Yeah.
So what's your ideal buyer in Anantara for Infinity developers?
Well, based on our marketing, okay, so you're asking for the nationality or...
No, okay, any ideal buyer, nationality or age group.
So based on the profiles of the buyer that we already have, most of the people are from 20s up to, let's say, 40s. Most of them 20s, late 20s to 40s. This is the largest group. Yeah. And then, of course, we have the next group from 40s up to 60s. Yeah. That would be the most age group. And when it comes to nationality, it's scattered. It's almost everywhere. Because we do marketing. We have the stands at the airports where we register almost everyone who runs or departs from the Zanzibar International Airport. But then we do online marketing and stuff like that. So we get people from almost every mostly will be the European nations. They are the top buyers. But then the GCC countries as well and African countries as well.
Okay, so I'm asking these questions, where, we're still Tanzanians, right?
Yeah.
So, we're still Africans.
Yeah.
I find it a lot of real estate projects focus their marketing in European countries or Western countries. What's your thought on this? Like, actually, can us Tanzanians afford it? Or can Africans afford these real estate projects in Zanzibar?
No.
Or in anywhere? Or also you can cut me wrong, like, no, man, Africans are buying actually.
Well, so in most places that I've been trying to encourage the people who have a chance to influence the society.
Yeah.
to bring into light what real estate could do to people.
Yeah.
Because I believe that African nations can buy, and we have a list of buyers from countries which I personally didn't believe that someone from maybe a certain nation would buy a property of $1 million or $1.5 million US, just like that.
Yeah.
You understand? So the issue is, I would say, we are so much in traditional investment culture, which that's what I see. Because you look at the value of the units that we sell in any developments, and then you look at the life people do. We have crypto gurus in our countries. Yeah. We have people make good amount of money. We have artists. We have several kind of industries which make a very reasonable amount of money, which people could use this amount of money to make this kind of investment. Yeah. But then because of the traditional culture, someone would rather do something else. I'm going to quote one of the agents who was like, a 62 square foot maybe studio is worth more than your 7-bedroom villa in your village. Yeah. So you understand, someone will be like, how am I going to spend maybe $500,000 to just get 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom villa? With this amount of money, I could have built so and so amount of houses in my village. But the question is, what do you get from that? Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So for me, I believe it's a knowledge gap, which we have to take it as a challenge in our generation, in our country, government people, to just let the community, let our people understand that there's so much value somewhere else. You could have put your money other than just going and build a house. We see, compared to the real estate industry in Zanzibar and in Dar es Salaam, you see houses in Masaki, what you can buy in Masaki is less more. Like you get a very big house, maybe Masaki, in Goba, in Kigamboni. Yeah. But when you look and try to compare the value between this house and what you have in Zanzibar, there's so much difference. Yeah. So I think the government should also try to help people who have this capacity to invest in the right direction. Oh, yeah, that's a good way of defining, because when I look at these properties, they're expensive, but it's worth investing your money in. Yes. And sometimes there's not that much difference in price in what people build. Yeah, exactly. For some of them, people who make this money, some of the people that rent, it's actually, when you just measure, it's not that big gap. Yeah. So I think they're in a position to do so. So I think our marketing will now also based in these people who can afford this. As you say, the crypto gurus, the traders and everything. Exactly. Yeah, people who do mines, who can make this a lot of money. People from Bukoba. Because one of the things, these people are so wealthy, they say. I wouldn't say that's practically traditional belief again. Yeah. We are living in so different times. You understand? I have a young brother, is only 18, and he makes tons of money, I would say, more than, like, if you look at the age and what they make, for someone, it would be very difficult for them to understand. So this goes back to, we know back in maybe after the independence and stuff, when you talk about Bukoba, these were the most educated societies, you understand? And so they had a privilege to get good jobs in the government and stuff. So that's how they made money. Yeah. But now the life has changed. It's not like being employed doesn't make you rich, or you don't get to make that amount of money. So we have most of the people in the nation are already educated, are already exposed. So for me, I don't believe wealth now goes back to the tribe. It goes back to individuality and how much are you willing to fight for what you want. Yeah. But people, they say they are very proud of themselves. You should be proud of yourself. For me, being proud of yourself is not a bad thing at all. You should be. But one thing, come me wrong. They say people from Bukoba are very proud of themselves,
and also have a proof of it. Like they don't just say things, they truly own it. It's like owning your thing.
Yeah. Because let me show you one thing. Everyone is great.
Yeah.
Everyone is blessed.
Yeah.
Everyone is talented.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at yourself, you have a number of things that you should be proud about. But we have a culture where we are taught to think that not being loud about your capabilities is being humble.
Yeah.
That's fake humility.
Yeah.
So I don't want to associate this because I'm coming from Bukoba. I know people say that.
Yeah.
But for me, I believe you should be loud about yourself. You should be proud about yourself.
Yeah.
You should be able to celebrate and compliment yourself even before anyone does.
Yeah.
And this is what even growing up, this is what we have been taught.
Yeah.
I have been talking to people in different places, and I think like your upbringing plays so much more in your life than you realize it. So there are things that how you respond to life, how you deal with people takes you back to the ethics and everything that's being implanted in you as you grow up. Yeah. So I know growing up, we were being taught, so from where I'm coming from, my clan as a lineage to a kingship kind of stuff. And they tell you, we are kings, we don't dress like this. We are kings, we don't talk like this.
Yeah.
We are kings, we don't let someone talk to us like this.
Yeah.
So that kind of mentality growing up and understand like, you know what, I cannot beg, I cannot do this, I cannot walk like this, I cannot wear like this, I cannot dress like this. Makes you have a different mindset. And again, if you're a bragging person, you cannot be bragging and you have nothing. So you should work to make sure you must. One of my friend always says like, you should make sure you have a lot of money. Because you wanna show up, you wanna be this and that. So you need to have enough proof to back up whatever you're trying to brag about.
Yeah, for sure. It. So having that mindset, having those experiences that you told me, what's your favorite quote of all time?
Well, my favorite quote will be the golden rule. Yeah. Which I believe is so much common, but it's do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Yeah. So most of the times, generally, like human beings, we have been created in a selfish nature. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. But most of the time, things happen to you or things happen to people. Yeah. And you'd put blame, you'd play a victim or stuff like that. Yeah. But if you sit down and think, if I was the one in that position, what would I have done? Yeah. Or if someone did to me what I want to do to them, how could I feel? Yeah. I believe this would bring so much harmony and peace in the society and so much love. Yeah. Because whatever you want to be given, you give it out. Yeah. Yeah.
That's powerful, man. Yeah. That's powerful. A very good way to end our conversation. But I am a conversation with a quick 5, like question. You just choose one thing, either this or this or this. Okay. So the quick 5 starts with vibes or vision? Vision. Yeah. Okay. Why?
Vibes. So if you go by vibe, you just land anywhere. You just find yourself landing into anywhere. But if you have vision, vibes are cool. You should have some vibes. But if you're visioned, then you choose vibes which match with your vision. Okay. So you don't get lost on the way. Yeah.
So legacy or freedom?
Well, I would go for freedom because I don't think you can build legacy without being free.
So you go for freedom?
Yeah, I go for freedom.
Okay. Passion or stability?
Oh. Passion or stability. passion or stability.
Because some of the times stability.
Yeah.
You know why you're putting
you chase your passion later once you're stable. you'll do that.
Because sometimes your passion doesn't give you stability.
Yeah. You better be stable and okay, so I started doing music.
Yeah.
I did my first music video, I think 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then after that, after I did the production, I realized I don't have money for marketing this video.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So then I've already spent almost all my savings into the video production. Yeah. And then I have to have money for the marketing of the video.
Yeah.
And then that's when it hit home like, yo, you need to have money to do this. Yeah. So from that moment, I've not done any music until now. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to do another music, to start like doing production very soon. Yeah. But for me, that goes back to, I needed time to be more stable so that even when I'm doing, I love my peace. I don't want to do something that stresses me. Yeah. I don't want to be stressed because of my finances, because of my expenditures. So if you want to be passion focused, trust me, you will have your mental suffering. Yeah.
Okay. Purpose or profit?
Come again?
Purpose or profit?
Purpose.
Purpose.
Yeah. Your purpose is going to give you your profit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever God put in you, whatever, like when God gives you a vision, God gives you a purpose, it comes with provision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're faithful to your purpose, it's going to truly come with everything that you need. Yeah.
Flow or focus?
Well, so that depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes you let that go with the flow, but then focus should be the outstanding point. Yeah. But in some instances, just take the flow. Just go with the flow.
So what? Flow or focus?
Focus.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing, man. Yeah. I think I'm down for today, and it was amazing to speak with you. I feel like I know a lot about you.
Yeah, thank you.
And for this short time that we spent together.
Yeah.
An amazing talk, actually. I've learned a lot from you, and I believe the audience have learned it as well. Yeah. So thank you for your time. I know you have busy schedules, but you took your time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. That's a wrap for today. And if you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be part of our community so that you can see more amazing conversation with amazing people like Datius.
Thank you.
So thank you for watching. See you on the next video.